Designed to meet and exceed rigorous military standards, the Sig Sauer M11-A1 Compact is a performer. The M11-A1 is a solid, rather chunky handful with a 15+1 capacity. The M11-A1 is on par, if not surpassing, what is available for compact carry these days. Hello there, it's Range Ronin once again, and today I am taking a gander at the Sig Sauer M11-A1, a not-so-common compact pistol for concealed carry. My involvement with Sig Sauer double-action, single-action pistols began with the P220, a single-stack duty pistol that carried 8 rounds of .45 automatic Colt pistol ammunition. Next for me was the P226, a 10-round 9mm pistol that was the talk of the day. Next came a P230, a .380 caliber subcompact pistol that graced my pocket on many a hot southern summer day. A P239 single-stack 9mm compact pistol found its way into the fold, and out of the 4 SIG pistols, the P239 is still with me, while the others had been sold for various reasons. It was many years before my hands would touch another SIG pistol. That is, until I held the SIG M11-A1 at my local gun club and range. I knew that, eventually, this pistol was destined to become one of the chosen few that would become part of my carry rotation. So, let me tell you about this compact pistol that appealed to my basic gun instincts. The M11-A1 features the black hardcoat finish on its aluminum alloy frame and SIG's nitron finish over a stainless steel slide. Internal parts and controls are phosphated for extreme corrosion resistance and reduced friction, while the barrel is also finished in nitron, which easily passes the military's accuracy requirements, even after 20,000 rounds. The pistol also passed the military's 240-hour salt spray corrosion test. Compactness was a design criterion, measuring 7.1 by 5.4 by 1.5 inches and weighing around 40 ounces, 2.5 pounds, with 15+1 rounds of ammunition. It can hide away in a pilot's flight suit or under an investigator's civilian clothes or in a private citizen's IWB or OWB holster with ease. The dovetailed 3-dot sights feature SIG-Lite tritium inserts. The SIG-Lite with tritium inserts really stand out when they should and help these aging eyes under any lighting conditions. Controls are the familiar Sig Sauer type. At the top edge of the left side of the receiver and running forward, you'll find the slide lock, decocker, and takedown latch. The decocker serves no function other than to decock the hammer. This is a pure double-action, single-action trigger system, where the first shot requires a long arc, double-action trigger pull, after which the recoiling slide cocks the hammer for the subsequent shots in single action. I have always favored the decocking system of the SIG series of pistols, superior to others, and the decocking system of the M11-A1 has not changed that. Whether you are a lefty or righty shooter, the decocking lever is within easy reach of the thumb or shooting finger. The hammer slowly comes to rest in a safe position, unlike some pistols, whose hammer simply snaps into place. That always made me nervous. The M11-A1 is carried in what is known as Condition 1 in the double-action, single-action world. That is, the hammer down and round chambered. The double-action trigger pull is smooth, long, and heavy, as with most double-action trigger pulls. The single action pull has a short reset as compared to most DASA triggers. What occurs is less transition between double action and single action shots as compared to, say, the Beretta M92, M9, or CZ series pistols and clones thereof. The trigger system is an SRT style, which means short reset trigger. After firing the first shot, the shooter holds the trigger to the rear as the slide cycles. A very slight release of pressure allows the trigger to move a short distance forward to a point where it resets. As much as double-action and single-action trigger systems were once roundly cursed on training ranges, this is a superb system that requires training but makes the gun both accurate and fast to use. It is a very nice gun to shoot. The front of the trigger guard has mild horizontal serrations for a support finger hold, if need be, and the same type of serrations are found on the front of the grip strap. The 3.9-inch barrel can be considered somewhere north of a 1911's officer model and somewhat south of a 1911 Combat Commander model. At 32 ounces, 2 pounds, unloaded, some might consider the M11-A1 too heavy to carry once loaded down with 15+1, my version, of favorite defensive ammunition, along with 2 spare 15-round magazines. Two-piece plastic stocks have a stippled surface that adheres well to the hand. The feel in the hand is very nice, and the provided grips do their job in providing the hand with something to grip. However, wood and steel is pleasing to me, and the grips were replaced with a set of Cocobolo checkered grips from Hogue, along with Torx head stainless steel grip screws from Cool Hand Grips for a bit of, well, coolness and contrast. The grip circumference is wide, and that may not appeal to some shooters. For me, a wide grip works out well. The fit and finish of the Hogue Cocobolo checkered grips are outstanding and complement the M11-A1, in my opinion. The grip length and angle, for me, are near perfect, not too short or too long. Installed in a suitable IWB holster, the M11-A1 simply melts into my side, but it is still easily accessible should I need it. Now that I have gone through a quick perusal of the features, let's talk about maintenance. Maintenance of the M11-A1 consists of field stripping, cleaning, lubrication, assembly, and function check. Before maintenance is performed on the M11-A1, first things first, and that is safety. To perform a safety check, first, point the pistol in a safe direction. Press the magazine release button and remove the magazine. Pull the slide completely to the rear and lock it open with the slide lock. Inspect the chamber and magazine housing to ensure that no ammunition is present. As another precaution, remove any live ammunition from the vicinity. Leave the slide assembly locked to the rear. So now, let's attack the disassembly, or field stripping, of the M11-A1. With the slide locked to the rear, rotate the takedown lever clockwise and down until it stops. Retract the slide slightly to disengage the slide catch lever. Allow the slide to move forward in a controlled fashion. As the slide reaches its closed position, decock the pistol with the decocking lever. This will allow the SRT safety lever to completely retract so that the slide can be fully removed from the frame. Now, slip the complete assembly comprised of slide, barrel, recoil spring, and guide rod forward and off of the frame. Push the recoil guide forward slightly and lift it from the rear to remove the recoil spring and guide from the slide. Remove the barrel from the slide by pulling upward slightly and to the rear. This level of disassembly is sufficient to allow a thorough cleaning. At this point, I am only going to say that you should follow the manufacturer's recommendations for cleaning and lubricating the pistol. Refer to the operator's manual that came with the pistol for guidance. To assemble the pistol, first insert the barrel into the slide. Insert the recoil spring and guide rod into the slide. Remember that this assembly will be under spring tension, and caution when assembling the recoil spring and guide rod should be taken. Ensure that the takedown lever is rotated clockwise to the vertical position, 6 o'clock. Guide the slide onto the frame rails from the front. Retract the slide fully to the rear and push up on the slide catch lever to lock the slide in the open position. Push the takedown lever up and counterclockwise to lock everything into place. At this point, perform a function check. I recommend using snap caps when performing a function check and when dry firing the pistol. The use of snap caps helps to prevent the firing pin from battering the firing pin stop, which can be seen at the top of the slide. Snap caps can also be used to check extraction and ejection. Place 2 snap caps into the magazine and insert the magazine into the pistol. Check the trigger mechanism by first pressing the decocking lever to decock the hammer. Press the trigger to the rear. The hammer should cock and then release. Then release the trigger. The trigger should release forward to its rest position. Pull the slide fully to the rear. The first snap cap should extract and eject. Release the slide quickly to chamber the next snap cap. The hammer should be in the single action position. Press the trigger. The hammer should drop from the single action position. Release the trigger and push forward on the hammer spur. The hammer must not contact the firing pin. Retract the slide fully to the rear. The second snap cap should be extracted and ejected. Also, the slide should lock back and remain in the rear position. This completes the function check, and the pistol is now ready for operation. At this point, I need to talk about shooting the Sig Sauer M11-A1. I could sum this up by saying that shooting the M11-A1 is near perfect, in my hands, but that would not satisfy you, would it? I had some ammunition left over from the Glock G48 function testing, and that is what I used to test the M11-A1. I simply got one magazine full of each, since ammunition cost is high and availability is getting downright iffy. I shot MagTech 124 grain FMJ to start things off. My favorite defensive ammunition, Sig Sauer V-Crown 124 grain JHP, fared well, as did the Sig Sauer V-Crown 147 grain JHP. However, Hornady 147 grain XTP was really liked by the M11-A1. Surprisingly, the Glock G48 liked it as well. Once POA and POI was established, rounds run through each magazine exhibited excellent results with the Mozambique drill. Each drill was started in double action mode, with subsequent shots in single action mode, until the magazines ran dry. The double action trigger pull is heavy and long, but smooth, and smoothed out even more as the pistol is shot. In double action mode, I was forced to use the pad of my trigger finger, as using the first joint, which I am used to using, resulted in feedback to the trigger finger that was not pleasant at let-off. It seemed that my trigger finger was being slightly pinched between the trigger and the frame. I had to lessen the amount of trigger finger to help mitigate the pinch. In all truthfulness, I preferred to shoot the M11-A1 with gloved hands, which eliminated any pinch. In single action mode, and if you are not riding the reset, there is plenty of take-up. A slight bit of a mushy wall, and then a crisp let-off. Reset is very quick, which if I paid attention to, can result in some very fast strings of fire. To put it simply, the M11-A1 is just one of those pistols that, as long as you do your part, it's a point, shoot, and hit where you want operation. The compact nature, sans the weight and width of the M11-A1 lends itself well to concealed carry. A Felco A112 takes care of the IWB hip carry needs, while a Gelco Classic Light 2.0 shoulder holster with counterbalance fills the shoulder carry needs, which is my preference these days. In closing, let me say that the Sig Sauer M11-A1 is frequently compared to other pistols of the same relative size, such as the Glock G19, Smith & Wesson, CZ, etc. At 1.5 inches wide, it is wider in comparison to some others, but the Sig Sauer M11-A1 stands on its own. The M11-A1 is simply a variant of a military-accepted pistol for commercial use, or as some might state, it is simply an updated P228 or P229, updated to military standards with commercial overtones. It has a barrel far shorter than any 1911 variant that I would carry, with the exception of an officer's model 1911. It fires a cartridge different from what I would normally carry in a 1911 for self-defense. It has a firing mechanism and subsequent operation far removed from a 1911, or any striker-fired handgun. It has no distinct advantage over any other handgun, sans the size. However, the Sig Sauer M11-A1 has an aura of its own, and that's what makes it what it is. My usual primary carry, a full-size government model 1911, weighs roughly 46.633 ounces, fully loaded with an initial loading of 9 230-grain JHP rounds of ammunition. The Sig Sauer M11-A1 is approximately 40 ounces with an initial 16 rounds of 124-grain JHP. There is not enough weight to concern myself with. It is then only a matter of how many rounds I believe I need to carry. Both a 1911 and a well-stoked 9mm pistol like the M11-A1 should serve me well under most conditions in stopping a threat. The M11-A1 is now one of my favorite compact pistols, and if you get a hold of one, you just might be sold on one. That's it, my friends, a gander of the Sig Sauer M11-A1 compact pistol. More gun and gear reviews are in the mix, and I hope to share them with you in the near future. Until then, stay safe out there.